Day 3 of the Senior Bowl is about to start, but I want to quickly go over some of my thoughts from Day 2. But first, I want to give a shout out to Team Jerseys. If you use promo code Broshmo, you get 10% off. They actually allowed me to custom make my own little jersey. That's so cool. You can do baseball, football, basketball, but it came out looking real dope. I was real happy with the job. I'm going to make like my own little ad for them, but I wanted to shout them out real quick. I'll leave a link in the description below, but let's go ahead. And by the way, what's crack-a-lackin'? Boy Broshmo, just in case you didn't know, so hit that like. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. We're looking at the national team first, and I'm going to be honest with y'all. This is the easiest way. I wanted to do it tonight, for day 3. I'll do overlays and whatnot. But I'm just going to go over the roster. Unfortunately, it's not updated because they still got like Jahan Dotson on here. But I think he got replaced, by Jaquiz Azar, the Sam Houston receiver. I could be wrong about that. But looking at the national team, I'm going to be honest. With the receivers, for both national and American, no one really stood out. Felt like there was a bunch of slot guys here. Like, you have Khalil Shakir, who's probably going to end up in the slot with his wingspan. Bo Melton even felt like he could be a bit more of a gadget player, which he was not really used as such, but they had him on sweeps. So that was pretty cool. But really, no, I don't think anyone really separated themselves, aside from someone I'll talk about when we get to the American team. But when it comes to national team, like Romeo Doubs, great footwork. Real crafty, more crafty route runner than I thought. But his ball skills are just as I may have been because I was like, wow, his drop rate is pretty good. It's decent. He's a body catcher. I was like, man, he has some suspect drops downfield. And this guy is a body catcher through and through. You could blame this a bit on the rain. The rain was really bad for the national team, but still, I remember he was coming across on a pass, and instead of putting the hands up, the Torrey Holt diamond, baby, tried to catch up with his body. So there was that. Christian Watson, I know a lot of y'all, and even some of the other analysts, eval, waiters, whatever, they really like this cat. Nothing I saw, the guy's size is great, woohoo, but I don't know, nothing that I saw in one-on-ones and the 7-on-7s stood out particularly well. If I were to say who really stood out among this group, that and Desmond Ridder was targeting Alec Pierce like a mother. But you could say the same thing about Carson Strong with Romeo Doubs. But I would say Khalil Shakir and Bo Melton and Romeo Doubs, but then it's kind of ball skills. Ooh, that route running though, it's kind of weird. Trey McBride, probably the only tight end to really stand out. Jeremy Rucker came in looking good. I like his build. But among the tight ends, it was definitely Trey McBride. He was mossing people. Jalen Pitre, who's having a freaking wonderful week. Contested the catch point and everything. There was just nothing he could do about it. This was pure, Trey McBride caught that ball on him against his will. It was pretty nice. But I would really say McBride, I like how Rucker measured, and the length of turn is impressive. But the guy that actually stood out in drills was Trey McBride. Going to the running backs, which running back, you're really only going to be able to tell during the game. So, for the little bits and pieces, I would say Jerome Ford has been a standout for me. I don't even remember seeing Haskins. I don't think I could be wrong. I remember seeing Batty, Abram Smith, maybe Haskins, because they brought in TJ Pledger. So maybe it was Haskins I think Haskins bounced, because I was I don't remember seeing him at all thus far this week. Because they brought in Utah's TJ Pledger. Who's should be practicing today. So Rashad White, he just looks great in space, but you still kind of wonder about how he is as a running back. I've seen people say he should just move to receiver, and I kind of agree. But and just kind of learn how to like to be a better route runner. But like him with the ball in space is insane. He did have a fumble, but again, it was rainy. It wasn't full contact, so you kind of like stop the play a bit. Like the play goes dead early, and like defenders are still like jabbing at the ball. So there is that. But I think Jerome Ford definitely looked probably the best here. I didn't like honestly. Abram Smith didn't look half bad though. But looking at the quarterbacks, these guys had to deal with terrible weather yesterday, and it showed because it looked bad. Like there were so many misses on throws. Desmond Ridder had a few dimes though. He had one to Romeo Dubs where Romeo Dubs had to extend, but it was legit where only he can get it. The defender was holding, but that's about it. If anything, I think Kenny Pickett, man, he might be sliding. He might be sliding hardcore. He had a fumble. The ball was coming out wobbly. So people would be like, oh, them 80-inch hands. So maybe today, if the weather's better, I haven't checked. But he needs to do a lot to kind of like the rest of this week to kind of make up for yesterday and for this whole thing. Because keep in mind, only one person in the NFL has played with 8-inch hands, and it was Michael Vick. And Michael Vick had a lot more going on. But Carson Strong, the mobility actually looked pretty good. Like in his like how he maneuvered the pocket. He had some bootlegs that looked good. So it was good seeing him move around. But overall, like from a passing standpoint, like I get it, the rain was coming down, but there was a lot of missed balls. Going to the offensive line, I'm just going to kind of run through this. Zion Johnson, excuse me. Zion Nelson, I'll see you next year. But Zion Johnson probably been the top offensive line performer this week. The guy's been taking snaps at center, and yeah, there's been a learning curve there, but he's looked wonderful at guard. Bernhard Raimann, I'm waiting for him. Like he's been okay, but it hasn't been a dominant performance. To be fair, the defensive line has really dominated the offensive line all week thus far. Well, day one and day two. We'll see how it goes today. But the Fordham cat, Nick, I'm not going to pronounce his last name. I saw like a couple of reps from him. He lost bad. I wouldn't consider him a draftable prospect, so I'm not encouraged to go see like his film. Just looking from this, like, I don't think I'd touch him anyway. Andrew Stuber, he got bodied on a few plays. Daniel Falele, he looked good at parts, but you could tell he's stupid raw. Like, he's not a guy you want to start immediately in the league. Actually, Matt, is it Weltiz? I'm going to learn how to say that last name. The cat out of North Dakota. He had a few fine reps. Trevor Pennan's been really good this week, too. Marquise Hayes, again, phone booth defender, or blocker. He did get beat a bit by speed, which is to be expected. I know what he is. I know who he is. I know what scheme he's probably going to go to. Abraham Lucas has been fine. Cole Strange, for a lot of people, have probably moved up their boards because just his versatility. He's played at a variety of different spots. I believe Luke Godek actually got hurt. He didn't participate from what I saw. J. Tyree Carter has played a variety of, like, this is what I like. They're playing these guys at a variety of different positions. So it might be fluffing up the defensive, how good the defense is looking. So they're playing positions they haven't played in their career. And they've done that with Strange, and he's looked pretty comfortable. And Carter, honestly, Carter doesn't look like he doesn't belong with the rest. Like, he's looked better than like a guy like Andrew Stuber. But yeah, that's it for the offensive line. I would say definitely outside of Trevor Pennon, because you can still tell he's a bit raw. Zion Johnson's been easily the best performer for the national team. Going to the linebackers, I don't think linebackers have really shown out. Yeah, that's the best way to look at it. Like, Terrell Bernard, listen, man, his lack of size, and it's not like he's the most athletic guy here. Just hasn't been his week. Kyron Johnson, This cat, I'm glad I haven't really seen them work him too much out of linebacker, but I mean, there's a lot I need to go back and watch. They've worked him and actually Laketta, who came in weighing like 261 and had a few good reps on tape. Like there's one out there of him going against Daniel Falele and putting Falele on his butt. Looked nice, but yeah, Johnson, I saw them working him at Y9. Muma's looked good. Probably the top performers, like Beavers has been fine too. The top performers, I would say, be these guys right here, like Troy Anderson. You see the athleticism. Brian Asamoah, the length, the speed. It's insane. Chad Muma. I think all, like these three guys, I don't want to say they've necessarily helped their stock, but kind of cemented it. Like I felt good about these guys coming in, and they've kind of cemented that feeling for me. Asamoah might be a guy I might put up my rankings a little bit more. Go to the D line. I don't know if they've added them here. Let's see. Yeah, Myjah Sanders, he's been all right. I was kind of wishing he'd stick out a little bit more. But like this has been like the where are you at? Perion. This has been the Perion Winfrey show. He has been annihilating people left and right. It's been amazing. Travis Jones has just been a bully. He is so tough to just to guard against, especially when a guy comes in like, all right, this is his first rep at center, and Travis Jones just is like, all right, good luck. Logan Hall's looked pretty good too. I could see him being probably he's gonna be probably a day 2 guy for me. I don't think I've seen him in a couple first rounders. I don't think he's gonna be there. I just don't think he's like. Well, then again, we saw Peyton Turner go in the first round, so it could be. Let's see. I don't know if they included. I don't know if they're gonna have Eric Johnson because he worked out with these guys, I believe, right? Pretty sure, he was. I'm pretty sure he was with Haskell Garrett. Pretty sure. Ogbania, he's actually been again another meaty, probably like nose tackle, 0 tech. He's looked strong. Arnold Ebiketie, he's looked fine enough. Like nothing that's making me go like ooh, you know. But like kind of like I'd willing to take this guy maybe like late first, early second. It's been solid. But I think Eric Johnson was with this group as well because he threw this fake spin move. Didn't work. But like you just see how quick, how twitchy, like this he should be shooting up boards. Like he is like from here in the NA or the NFL PA Bowl, he has made a name for himself. Going to the secondary. Jalen Pitre, I think, has easily been the best guy here. He's going to be like my top slot corner. He's probably going to be, I mean, I think you could play him in the box at safety. He's been tough, like on the full team drills. Like he's been tough coming off like the edge. It's been looking good. Joshua Williams, what I will say, I like Joshua Williams. He's shown that he belongs here. Like, while this group hasn't been that impressive, he's shown he's belonged. JT Woods is a guy that I've walked away just super not impressed with. Like, I don't want to say, like, there was some effort plays that I was just like, just didn't really see it here. Again, it's one of these cases where, like, I didn't see it there. And it leads me to believe I don't want to go back and like watch his tape. Like guys that I like haven't watched tape for, you know, this is your time to shine. And it's like, if I don't really see anything, then I'm like, ooh, I'm not going to want to go back and watch your tape. Simple as that. Kirby Joseph though, you saw the length, man. He had a nice pass breakup on I think it was a running back coming out the backfield, just forced a pass breakup. But let's go to the American team where things were a bit cleaner. Still wet, but a bit cleaner. Start with receivers. again, the receivers didn't really come out and make a name for themselves this week. Jalen Tolbert, probably the guy that stands out the most easily. Excuse me real quick. While he didn't come in as big as a lot of people necessarily thought, like the dude was winning at the catch point consistently. Like Calvin Austin again, he just comes in looking like, yeah, he's probably going to be a gadget player, a guy that could probably play the slot as a burner. But yeah, nothing I can't, like, again, this squad just hasn't wowed me. I was thinking Trey Turner would have been like the Josh Palmer of last year, and he just hasn't done that. Matter of fact, he got lit up. Was it by, I think it was by Cam Britt Taylor, or Taylor Britt, the Wisconsin corner. It was pretty nasty. Was it Wisconsin or Nebraska? It's Wisconsin. Where's it, Nebraska? Oh my gosh, dude. Cam Taylor Britt. Nebraska. These stupid red, like, just red and white schools messing me up, man. Oh, at least I didn't say like Stanford. But yeah, no, he looked good. He looked good blowing Trey Turner up. Poor 179 Trey Turner. In terms of the tight ends, actually this tight end group looked pretty good. Like Daniel Bellinger, oh my gosh, he was so overmatched when they did like the full like drills. He was not a blocker. He was getting bodied by everyone, like Amari Barno, who is like sub 240. Like Bellinger is, I don't think, a draftable guy. Grant Calcaterra had a few nice catches. Isaiah Likely looked really good out there. So did Greg Dulcich. Like they looked good in the receiving drills, but you know, nothing where it's like, oh, amazing. But like I would say Likely and Dulcich, even Calcaterra. I think they're adding Trey Berry. Are they adding him to the? No, they're adding him to the national roster. Dang, touche. Oh, they're actually adding Azard to the American roster though. The Sam Houston State receiver. Sam Williams was up in here too because Cameron Thomas had to I guess he like tweaked something in warm-ups on day one, but yeah, no, he wasn't able to participate. It was a bit of a shame. Let's talk about the running backs. Brian Robinson, he looked like Brian Robinson. Let's just say that. I will say, was it Zaquandre White looked pretty good. He looked another guy that he's like Rashad White, man. He feels more receiver. Same with Devontae Price. Like I have to go back and watch more Devontae Price. He comes in with this receiver build, and it doesn't look like he's going to be a guy that can that can handle contact. He looks like a receiver. Dameon Pierce looked really good. Had a bad drop, unfortunately, coming off a wheel route. I think it was Bailey Zapp throwing him the ball and just missed it. Man, had his guy beat too and everything. But Dameon Pierce has looked really good. He's probably going to move. I might move him up to like running back 3. Like he's just got the size, the center of gravity that translates well. Talking about the quarterbacks, the weather wasn't as sloppy this time around for the quarterbacks as it was for the national team. I would say, I'm gonna say it. I know not a lot of people are saying it. Sam Howell, from the throw bases, I thought was the most consistent quarterback from both teams this week. Malik Willis had a few wow throws where it's like, wow, you really see the arm talent. But like you could definitely tell like where like with maybe like the anticipation, like he was early on some routes and then just missed guys altogether. But like you see why the upside's immense. Bailey Zappy, whatever his last name ends up being. I've heard it pronounced both ways, but He looks like he kind of belongs with these guys. Like this. It's not like it's been wow this week thus far for the quarterback class, and it's like he looks no different. He looks like he belongs with these guys, which is great. But I don't. He's still not a guy I'd probably be willing to take till like the fourth round, maybe he sneaks into that late third, but I think I'm still taking him early three. Going to the offensive line, Darian Kennard has been an obvious winner, I would say. A very obvious winner. He had at the end of practice on I think it was day one. He had the one-on-one with Jermaine Johnson because they took the best D lineman or the best edge and the best offense line performer, had him do a best of three. Best of three. And Kennard got totally ran over in the first one, but then he actually won the next 2 reps. They actually slid him into guard for a couple of reps, and he actually looked way more comfortable at tackle. So I don't know, man. Like Kennard, you could tell that like the hand placement and pass protection is still pretty raw, but like not even raw. It's just like it just needs to be better. But I think I might be grading him as a tackle now because he's done pretty good this week. Dylan Parham, he had a few reps where he got overpowered, but for the most part, looked fine, looked good. A guy that's I'm probably going to end up putting in day 2. Max Mitchell, man, really hasn't stood out. I think they were talking about he had like fractures in his hands that he played through for a few weeks. So I guess he recently had surgery. So like you could tell he's a bit hesitant when using his hands, but like he hasn't really stood out. Sawyer has, or is it Sawyer? Jamari. He's been playing in line, which is great. He actually looks really good there, which is what I assumed. He would probably be moving to the interior. They actually had K Mays playing center, dude, at some points, man. That was pretty impressive. Oh man, straight up, I want to talk about this cat, Spencer Burford. While like there was like his upper body needs to get stronger. But man, there is a lot of meat. Like when it comes to what this guy can develop into, I think there's a lot of meat on the bone there because he had some impressive reps. He may have lost some, but he had some impressive ones. Chris Paul, he's kind of had an up and down week, but again, another guy that's coming in from Tulsa and looking like he belongs. I like it. So I would say Burford was a standout to me just because I really didn't watch him and I didn't know what to expect. But Kennard looks like the best of the bunch, probably. At linebacker, no one really stood out from here. DeMarco Jackson got bodied on they were doing pass protection drills, and Damian Pierce had his lunch. Damon Clark's looked pretty good though, so does Tyndall. But I mean, I don't think it's enough for me to move them up. Like I feel like they are who I thought they were, you know. Carpenter's been playing some linebacker, actually. So that's good to see. Connor Hayward, man. I've liked seeing Connor Hayward this week. Really have. It's been fun. It has been fun watching Connor Hayward. He's going to be a nice H-back option. Going to the defensive line, Jermaine Johnson. Everyone's talking about him. Obvious winner this week. Don't really need to say much more. Let's go down here. John Ridgeway had a few impressive reps strength-wise. Zachary Carter, low-key's been having a really good Senior Bowl as well. Devontae Wyatt has looked amazing. Neil Farrell, the LSU guy, he looks like he's going to be an exceptionally strong run defender. Kingsley Nagbari, I love him, dude. I love the energy he brings. He's always like slapping hands. He's the dude talks a lot. He has been a guy that has really brought up the energy to this squad. I feel like he is the energy. you could tell he doesn't have a lot of pass rushing moves. Like, I think he had like just a ton of bull rushes. With that length, I don't blame him, but like, I really wanted to see those violent hands of his be used more. Amari Barno had a few okay reps, but this is a guy that just needs to get bigger, man. D'Angelo Malone looked pretty solid this week too. As I said, Cameron Thomas did end up even practicing yesterday. Didn't even practice day one. After warm-ups, he was done. Unfortunately, I really wanted to watch him this week. But going to the secondary, Raji McCreary he looks like the most polished guy out here, which he should. That's good. Again, I think that length might tank him, man. Like, it hasn't been anything like spectacular. That's the thing, dude. Like, the receivers haven't, like, it's been so, you know. There hasn't been any real consistent wins, consistent losses. It's really been middle of the road. And like, for instance, he's up on here, right? Yeah, all right. Tariq Woolen, big physical corner. If they like, he's going to a press heavy scheme, because when he was asked to go play press in drills, no one was getting off the line. But when they were like, okay, take a few steps back, play a bit off coverage, you can just tell, man, he's a bit lost. He's stiff, you know? Like, I know he's a great athlete, very like, he's got some speed to him, but it's just like an explosiveness. It's just, he's stiff. It is what it is. What is it? Zealous Jones actually had mossed Lante Taylor on a route. Oh, man. But those guys were going back and forth. That was the thing. Zealous Jones, when given the Tennessee wide receiver, he's an older prospect too. He's like 25. But like, when given space and allowed to like have these longer developing routes, he had receivers like twisting their feet, off balance. It was, that was pretty cool. Darion Kendrick has not done well. Speed's gonna be an issue for this cat, man. Speed's gonna be a real issue. I think Mario Goodrich also got mossed deep, but again, that was playing off coverage. And again, the like one-on-one drills, it favors the wide receiver, you know? Like, no one's rushing the quarterback. You get these long developing routes, so kind of is what it is. We'll see during the game if anyone really stands out, but like Tariq Woolen, I think stands out if you really love press heavy. He's probably going to be a day two guy. He's going to test out great. But yeah, no, outside of that, man, none of these guys have really impressed. I don't know. You let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. Go ahead, do that YouTube thing. As always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.